So the cricket season is in full flow, and we are standing in the sidelines of the Legends League cricket, and with me is the legend himself, Dan Christian. Dan, first of all, how is it to be back playing with all the legends and your former colleagues?
Yeah, great to be back in India and great to be back playing with and against some guys that I've played a lot of cricket against over the last 20 odd years. So lovely to be back in India. Disappointing that we had a few games washed out in Surat, because that's a fantastic ground and a fantastic wicket. We've seen some pretty high scores there when we have been able to get on. But yeah, it's great to be back and great to be back out there on the field too.
And after this Jammu leg, Legends League will be going to Kashmir. After 40 years, there's a match happening there in the valley. One of the most beautiful, picturesque places you will see in the world. How excited are you?
Yeah, very excited. I've had a look on Google at some of the photos, and it sounds absolutely stunning and looks absolutely stunning in the photo. So, really looking forward to getting up there. Yeah, it looks like an absolutely stunning place in the world. And the guys have said that the cricket pitch up there should be really good as well. So yeah, looking forward to that.
It's going to be amazing, no doubt about that. Coming up a bit to the IPL, you have made a mark in the IPL as well. How do you think the RCB team could shape up this time in the IPL auction because of the rules change? Virat Kohli, of course, will be one of the landmark, iconic players in the team. But what do you think should RCB do differently to get that more elusive trophy that is missing?
Look, I don't think they need to do too much different. They've always had a really strong squad on paper, and unfortunately just haven't been able to quite get there. They do everything as well as any other successful team that I've ever played in terms of how hard they work off the field and their preparation. And they win games when it matters, within the tournament. Unfortunately, they just haven't quite got there in terms of winning the big semi-finals and the big finals. So. Look, they're close. They're really close. I think Virat deserves it. He's had such a wonderful career and been such a successful player and brilliant captain for India and won trophies for India as well. So yeah, look, I don't think they need to do too much differently. Just put together another good solid squad and I'm sure they won't be far away.
Did you watch Virat bat last time around in the IPL? He was bringing his vintage slog sweeps and everything, upped his strike rate also. Do you think it's a different version of Virat Kohli in the T20s?
He's just a superstar player and one of our greatest ever players. And you've seen something. I know, obviously being an Australian, I've seen a lot of Steve Smith recently as well. He's done the same thing. His 2020 cricket was mediocre. A touch mediocre, and he got dropped from the Australian team, and now he's gone back to the leagues and he's absolutely dominating the leagues and just changing his game and adapting his game to still be able to dominate them. So similar to Virat, they just keep finding a way to be the best players in the world, and that's I guess why they are the best players in the world.
Another player who is part of the LLC, who will be now the mentor of RCB and the batting coach, Dinesh Karthik. How do you see him making an impact into that dressing room and in the team environment?
I think just anyone with that kind of experience can bring a sense of calmness to a change room. That's one of the great things about having former players that have played a lot of cricket. It's great having them in your coaching staff because they've been in all the situations that the players are going to be in out on the field. So there's always someone to run your ideas off and talk to about the way that the game might end up panning out. So he'll be a great shoulder to lean on for a lot of the guys in that team.
And Dan, you have played so many franchisee cricket all over the world, including the IPL. What is the mantra of winning a franchisee tournament, would you say?
Good question. I think the most successful teams are the ones, like I said before, about what RCB do off the field. They prepare really well. And do everything. They train hard, they prepare well, they do all their prep in terms of their research on the opposition, research on the ground, and then more often than not they're really good people that want to go out and play for each other and just have a really good time on the field. The most successful teams tend to be the ones that are having the most fun and really enjoy each other's company, enjoy each other's successes as well.
Someone once told me the happiest teams are the most successful teams in franchisee cricket.
Definitely, and that's one of the things that you need to try and get right, and that's one of the things that the recruiters need to try and get right. The management, whenever they're picking teams, is trying to get guys together that will mould really quickly in the change room. Because you're not spending a full year together, you're spending 2 months or 6 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it might be, depending on the tournament. So you need to get guys together that are going to gel and are going to want to play for each other.
And during when I was young, India versus Pakistan used to be the rivalry. Now India versus Australia is the rivalry, and we are awaiting the Border Gavaskar Trophy later this year. What are your expectations? 2 times in the last 2 tours, India have won. Can they make it 3 times?
No, Australia are going to win this one.
You are being biased now.
Yeah, of course. I could never go against Australia. I think it'll be a fantastic series, though. I'm really looking forward to watching it. 2 of the best bowling lineups in the world against 2 of the best batsmen in the world, in particular, in Virat and Steve Smith, and some extremely good players around them as well. So yeah, really looking forward to that battle between the bowling attacks and the top orders.
And for the Aussie crowd, this could be the last time they would be seeing Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli down under. Would that be a special occasion for both of them and plus the Aussie crowd?
I think so. Yeah, it'll be always great to have the best players in the world out in Australia and playing international cricket. I've got no doubt the crowds are going to be amazing. I know that there's a little bit of Test cricket's maybe not as popular as what it once was, but when it comes to Australia and India and Australia and England, particularly at home, we tend to fill the stadiums up. So it's going to be a great spectacle and yeah, great to see Virat and Rohit back out there again. I'm sure they're going to do well, but hopefully not too well.
My last couple of questions, quick ones. What would be your prediction for the series?
3-1 Australia with a washout in Sydney.
With a washout in Sydney, he's making weather forecast as well at the same time. And who would be the 2 players to watch out for from each team? Shubman, Yashasvi are making great grounds.
Yeah.
Jasprit Bumrah is there. Ashwin will be there.
Yep.
So many superstars.
Exactly. That's what makes it so tough to pick. 2 of the best spinners in the world in Lyon and Ashwin, and then the fast bowling attacks, Bumrah and Pat Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark,
Boland,
and then Smith v.
Marnus is
Smith and Marnus, and Travis Head's been fantastic the last little while. So
he's the biggest headache.
After the World Cup a couple of years ago. It's just going to be a brilliant series to watch. Every single matchup's going to be great to watch, and it's going to be edge of your seat stuff. But from watching Bumrah bowl at Steve Smith and Pat Cummins bowl at Virat, and it's going to be awesome.
Can't be bigger than this. Thank you so much, Dan, for taking time out for this.
No problem.
And all the best for the Srinagar leg.
Thank you.
And further in your career.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thanks.